What's up, weebs? So, One Piece chapter 1035 is officially out. We have not talked about a One Piece manga chapter in a very long time. But if there's one thing this channel needs, it's consistency. So, going forward, we might start doing weekly One Piece chapter reviews. I don't know yet if it's even worth doing. We'll see how the video does. If you guys like this, comment down below, leave a like, all that jazz. But One Piece chapter 1035 is out, and oh my god, we had a lot to get into with this. There is so much going on with One Piece in the manga lately. If you are not caught up, spoiler warning, obviously. Okay, the chapter starts out, we got the final moment of Sanji versus Queen. Sanji has unlocked his latent abilities, his Germa 66 genes within his body that got awakened because of the raid suit, fought Queen, and he used not the raid suit, but these newfound abilities with Haki and his firepower that's part of those abilities with Germa 66 to take out Queen. So, Queen's dead. One of the calamities of Kaido is out again. We got Jack that got taken out a while back. Now Queen's out. All that's left is King. But just to touch on the Sanji Queen thing a little bit, I thought it was a great fight. Hilarious. Sanji got some great character development within this. It almost seemed like maybe a little bit of a backtrack for a minute, but with him accepting these powers, you know, dealing with the fact of the resentment towards his family and just taking in these powers and using them to defeat Queen, to help Luffy become the Pirate King. I think it was a great inner dialogue with Sanji during all of this. At the very end, he takes Queen out and he falls down, and Sanji is like passed out because they've been fighting nonstop, and he just took out third strongest enemy. So bravo, Sanji. I'm glad that he got his moment. I'm a big Sanji fan. Honestly, I don't have like a favorite One Piece character, but yeah. So Queen's out, and we mainly focus in this chapter on Zoro versus King, and oh boy, is there a lot to get into with this. So we got the big attack at the end of the last chapter where Zoro realized now with Enma that he has to use Conqueror's Haki in order to really get the full effect of Enma with his fighting style. He realized how much Haki Odin was pumping into Enma in order to really utilize this sword. So he's now using his Conqueror's Haki, which he's been up back and forth with on whether or not he actually has it within himself. Not us as the readers. The anime sort of teased it a little bit when it wasn't needed, but here we are with Zoro utilizing his Conqueror's Haki into Enma and really starting to give it to King. With King, okay, this is really where I'm gonna like talk a lot about, and besides, you know, let me touch base on the end, and then we'll talk about King for the rest of the video, because that's really what I wanted to get into and why I wanted to get back into talking about the One Piece manga again. So Zoro seemingly is defeating King. He finally is upgraded his Haki abilities and realizing that putting Conqueror's Haki within Enma to defeat King is the way to do it. And I'm not really a One Piece power scaler. I would assume King is right there with Katakuri, so you can, you know, argue that that's where Zoro's at, that like top tier second in command. Now he's officially there because of this newfound abilities. And really with One Piece, we've talked about before on the channel how One Piece doesn't really have training arcs per se. There was the 2-year time skip where they all separated and went off and did their own thing. But with One Piece and Haki in general, the whole beginning premise of Haki was you develop it within battle, and we are seeing Zoro develop his Haki, his Conqueror's Haki within this battle with King, you know, feeding it to Enma to defeat King. Zoro is now developed, he's progressed with his fighting abilities, and he's on that level with King, Katakuri, and all these second in commands across the sea that we've seen so far. I mean, we still have, you know, the Blackbeards, Shanks' crew. We don't know where he is with those characters yet, but right now, just like the big bads that we have seen, Zoro is on that level. Okay, so really the main reason in the video is I wanted to talk about King. King had his face reveal, and with this face reveal, we know that King's a Lunarian. We know, we've been teased about it, we've been talking about it. He was a race of people that lived on the Red Line and somehow got eradicated by the world government, the Celestial Dragons, whoever officially did it. I'm assuming the Celestial Dragons had the world government take them out. This is where we're gonna get into like sort of theory territory. Not really theory, but just like my headcanon of just kind of what we have. So King is a Lunarian, right? And obviously when his face mask gets ripped off and we see him, he has the white hair, the face tattoos, the darker skin. He's just this giant, very handsome man that has been fighting Zoro. It's not what I expected when we initially were going to see his face. I thought maybe there would be, not alien per se, but just something different. Like Oda really drugged this out with like hiding King's face. We got like a little bit of the tease of the face tattoo a while back, but now we see that he looks just like a Shandoran. He looks just like Wiper, actually. A lot like them. So with the Lunarians, I'm assuming they're going to be a lot like the Shandorans, where they came down from the moon. The world government and the Celestials started taking over, and they wiped out an entire races of people. King's race and most of King's race, I believe he's the only one that we know of. We could still be, you know, we could find out later that there are more Lunarians, but right now, this is all we got. So King is a Lunarian. This is what they look like. They are very similar to the Shandorans. So to me, Oda has presented all of this evidence that they're both from the moon. They're both from space, and they came down and they just have a very similar situation. The Lunarians are a lot stronger than the Shandorans, though. So maybe they were like the protectors, the warriors of the moon. Maybe. We shall see. I don't know yet, because King is very strong. I don't know if all Lunarians are that strong, or King specifically is that strong just because of him being with Kaido and his devil fruit. People tend to do this thing where when one person is extremely strong and they are a particular race in One Piece, they automatically think that everybody else in that race is going to be similarly strong, when that is not the case at all, because with the human race, there is all varieties of strength and abilities. So you can't just assume that every Lunarian is like top tier strength combat wise like King. That's just not the case. But like I said, with the resemblance of the Shandorans, Wiper specifically, not saying he has anything to do with Wiper, but just that's what he looks like. With this similarity with the Shandorans, and with how long Oda, you know, sort of drug out revealing what King looks like, I truly believe that we are about to get to a point where we're going to learn a lot about the Void Century, learn about who Nika the Sun God was, learn more about Joy Boy, because all throughout Wano, we've gotten little tidbits of information, whether it be about Nika the Sun God, about Joy Boy, about the Void Century. We're getting just a cluster of hints at what is to come, and very, very soon we are going to get a big reveal. Probably, I would assume that King is about to be KO'd, whether it be a couple more chapters where King like unleashes like a brand spanking new Lunarian ability on Zoro, and Zoro has to like literally work himself to the limit to defeat King, and it's like a last minute KO thing, kind of like Luffy and Katakuri. Or this is the last straw with King and he's done, and we move on to Luffy and Kaido. Regardless, I think after this battle with Zoro and King, after Luffy and Kaido, however that battle plays out, the aftermath of Wano, we are going to get a dump truck full of lore for the Void Century, for One Piece past, for this story that Oda has been teasing at, with everything that literally from the beginning of One Piece to now that has been teased all the way back in Alabasta to now. Just the Void Century, the great history of this story is about to come undone. We're about to learn a lot, and I'm very excited. If you guys have any, you know, ideas of what you think is going to happen, make sure down in the comment section let me know. Okay, if you guys aren't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, drop a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. I am gonna get out of here. I will catch you all next time. Peace.